Hi there, my name is Anna Chapman and I am the subject leader for psychology here at Northampton High School. Psychology is likely to be a new subject for you, so I'll start by telling you that it is the scientific study of the human mind and behaviour. So it's all about why people think what they think and do what they do. Usually people find psychology quite interesting because it's all about people, so you can apply what you learn to yourself and the people around you to help you to understand yourself and the people around you better. We follow the AQA A-level psychology specification, and at the end of the two-year course you'll sit 3 exam papers. There's no coursework. The first exam paper is called Introductory Topics in Psychology, and we look at topics like social influence, which covers things like conformity and obedience, so why you conform, why you obey. And we also look at attachment, which is how your early relationships influence your later relationships. The topic of memory covers concepts like eyewitness testimony, so if you were to witness a crime, how accurate would your testimony be? And finally, psychopathology. We look at phobias, depression and OCD, explanations and treatments. The second paper is called Psychology in Context. We cover approaches in psychology, which is sort of the history of psychology over the last 150 years or so. We also look at biopsychology, so things like the brain, the nervous system, synaptic transmission, neurons, all of that stuff, and research methods, so how psychologists conduct scientific research. The final paper is called Issues and Options in Psychology. We look at issues and debates. That's things like free will versus determinism, the nature-nurture debate, so a bit of overlap with philosophy there. We also look at relationships, so that's romantic relationships, how they form, how they're maintained, why they break down. We look at schizophrenia in detail, explanations and treatments, and finally forensic psychology. So we consider different explanations as to why people commit crime and consider what we should do with people who commit crime. So that's the specification in a nutshell. I'm now going to hand over to a couple of my current 6-2 students who will tell you a little bit about their experiences of studying A-level psychology.
I'd say the most interesting things I find in psychology are probably mental disorders, so we look at OCD, we look at phobias, we find that all really interesting. The content itself is fairly easy to understand. The most challenging part will probably be the amount of content there is to learn. So if you're someone who can memorise things quite easily, then it's a really good subject for you.
Going on from what Izzo said, there is a lot of content, but Ms Chapman encourages us to make revision resources, which is really helpful, and I would advise to keep on top of them. And in a typical lesson, Ms Chapman will talk through the content, and then we will make our own notes, and then we will discuss as a class, which is quite interesting to see each other's ideas and what they think